What's up guys, my name's Sam, welcome back to another video, and here for another analysis and reaction video of the F1 2020 cars that are being released in these last few days. Today we're going to react to the Williams car that was released this morning. I don't know if today I'm going to react and analyze the Racing Point that was released this afternoon. I'm not entirely sure because my university started today, and now from these days on I'm going to be a little bit short on time for obvious reasons, but I'll try to do my best to be in time to make these videos and gaming videos as well. In these last few days I've been focusing more in these kind of videos, and I hope you guys understand, but soon once all the cars get revealed, we're going to come back to the normal form of this channel. So talking about the livery of the Williams instantly, it's a step forward from last year. Not the best in my opinion, but definitely better than the last year's livery, which I kind of liked the last year's livery. Not many people liked saying that 2019 livery was like a toothpaste livery, but trust me, I think in my opinion this looks like more toothpaste, one of those toothpastes with three colors: Aquafresh, Colgate, all of those brands of toothpaste, I can say. But definitely this one is better, and I think they have here a pretty decent job. But the toothpaste meme, I think, is not going to be over just yet for the Williams team. And I spotted some differences comparing it to last year's car. I found some more complex aero in this car. It has some things where they adopted from Mercedes and other teams, and I'm going to explain to you today. Bear in mind that I'm not an aero specialist. I'm just in my first year in university, so I'm not a pro in these things, but hopefully in next year I'm going to be better. But we're going to jump first to the side view of the car. Not quite the side view, so here's what I have. It's only highlighted in yellow, but first we're going to last year's car. And as you can see, it's a very simple turning vanes, and in the barge board as well. The things are really simple. As you can see, just a homogeneous part, I should say. It's very simple if you compare to the other 2019 cars from my point of view. Now if we switch to this year's car, you're going to see that is very complex from I could see. Just another thing, I'm sorry for the renders of last year's car are very low on quality, is what I could find. The quality is from Williams Twitter from last year, so apologies for that. It's just really the maximum quality that I could get, but still I could spot some differences. So now talking about this year's car, as you can see, these are more complex things. It's not homogeneous pieces. It has a lot of pieces. It's still the same part, the turning vanes. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm trying to say. But as you can see, it's definitely more complex, more normal comparing to the other teams. So for me, we can conclude maybe that Williams invested in more aero in this winter break, which they really need, because that car was unstable in all corners, left, right, and center. And it's really good to see that Williams is taking away a normal way where all teams should take. That is a very complex aero. We've seen some of the other cars from last year even, and in this year are even more complex. So it's going to be a tough year for Williams in my opinion, despite all these aero improvements that I'm going to show you in this video. They are going to have a little bit of a catch-up year. Maybe they have to wait till 2021 to be in the mix, but really surprised to see this improvement for Williams. Really kudos to him. Who knows, they can be in the mix this year, but that is going to be really difficult. So now we're going to the side of the car. First we're going to last year's car. Now is really the side of the car, and I noticed two things. First is the engine cover on the barge board, that is highlighted in green. As you can see, I try to draw the curves, I should say, of the barge boards, just you guys to see where they are, and try to make you guys have an idea of the curves. And then we go to the rear wing, that is highlighted in yellow. You can see some is very homogeneous, like I said, like in the turning vanes, and it has just a little curve here. It looks like that is divided by the yellow lines. If you are a little bit confusing of the lines, I recommend it to check out this render car without the yellow lines. And then in the below part we have some gaps on that car, which is very common in today's car. So now we're going to switch to this year's car, and we have a more complex engine cover dash barge board, as to say, where is the Rocket sponsor. By the way, if you don't know what Rocket is a phone brand. But now moving to the technical part, as you can see, we have a lot of curves, and this is not the first time that I'm seeing here this. If you take a look very closely to the Mercedes car, you're going to see that these cars are very deep as well, like in this Williams car. So I'm wondering if this is mandatory for the Mercedes power car. So I'm talking about the Mercedes itself, the works team, Williams and Racing Point. I'm not seeing the Racing Point very close just yet. I'm going to do this I'm going to do that after this video. But probably we're going to see some more deep curves and more complex curves on the dashboard, because seeing the Mercedes like this and the Williams car like this, they both have Mercedes engine, and the new Mercedes engine requires dashboards like this. We're going to see once we analyze the Racing Point car. Now we're going to focus on the rear wing that is highlighted in yellow, like I said, and definitely is more and more complex. We have gaps now, not just on the below part of the rear wing, but we have on the top as well. We have 3 gaps, and then we don't have that curve that you used to see from last year. It looks like that the rear wing is broken in 2 parts, but one is more in front, more is on the rear. But you can see by the yellow lines that we have a tiny bit of gap, and these gaps on the rear wing are not new as well. We've seen these from Red Bull from last year and this year, from FW43 and more teams that at the moment I'm not remembering, but we can see that Williams is adopting a more aggressive aero, because like I said, they must have a more aggressive aero for what we saw from last year. And finally, we're going to go with the front part of the car. We're going to first going to the 2019 car, and I spotted some differences as well. We're going to start on the front wing. You're seeing the cascades that are in blue, because it was is not highlighted in blue. It's highlighted in yellow, but the color is blue. You're seeing that it starts, but then it starts to curve a little bit, and then it finishes with a very tiny pad, I should say. I'm not being really specific. And then you're seeing 2 crosses here on the nose of the car. You're going to see why I'm putting these crosses. If you watch some previous videos, probably you'll be understanding why these crosses are here. And then we're going to the dashboard of the car. You can see 2 columns on the horizontal, and then in the left side and the right side, and in the both sides, in the exits on the exterior side, I should say, and we have a vertical column. And then in the mirrors, we have a very simple mirror without wings. Now if we change to this year's car, you're going to see that the aero is more complex from my point of view. What is highlighted in green, the dashboards are not that complex, to be honest. We just seeing one horizontal column and the vertical one. But now if you look very closely to the mirrors, they have a wing at the top, and once again, this is not the first time that we're seeing this. We've seen from the other cars from last year, and this year more and more teams are adopting this not really strategy, this design. So I think we're seeing more aggressive aero from these teams, because now we are in the stage where these teams, the engineers, are finding leaks in the rules, and another confirmations of more aggressive aero. Now we have some winglets, as you can see, is in the yellow circles between Russell's number and the Rocket partnership, the Rocket logo, I should say. And like I said, it's not the first time that we're seeing winglets. We have on the Mercedes, we have the Alfa Romeo, we have on the Red Bull. Ferrari put some winglets at the top of the airbox of the car, which was pretty surprising to see. And then we go to the front wing, where the cascades, they're highlighted in yellow as well, and they are colored in white this year instead of the blue. We're seeing that are much shorter comparing to last year's car. So in conclusion, this Williams, yes, it has more aero. Definitely Williams puts a lot of more work on the aerodynamics of the car, but at the same time, I don't think that this is going to be enough for them to be in the mix. Probably they are going to be in the red light of the pack, because you can't gain that much time to the other teams. It's just in a space of 1 year. But definitely this is some improvements. Maybe Williams can surprise this year, no, but this is not very new comparing to the other teams. There's not much things. There's basically no things that are like an innovation where other teams don't have that thing, and the Williams has. What I can say is that the aero has more inspiration from the other teams. a more, is not that original thing from Williams that only Williams design and the other teams don't have. So probably Williams is going to be in the step back of this year, but definitely this car is a step forward, but unfortunately probably is not going to be enough. But guys, that has been the video for today. Make sure to smash like and subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more Formula 1 content. I'm going to try to post today the Racing Point livery and aero analysis. If I don't, sorry, but university and stuff started today, and now I'm going to be a little bit more short on time, but for sure that I'm going to post tomorrow. If that's not the case, I'm going to come back with F1 and F2 career mode as well. I have a ton of episodes already recorded, so stay tuned for that. But for now, it's time to say goodbye. My name's Tom, and I'll see you guys for a brand new video next time. But for now, it's goodbye.